Can you sing and hear, please? Sing. Sing? Sing and hear. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, when the saints go marching in. No. Shh. Here. Oh, sign. Sorry.
Mini English lessons.
The bad news is, if you pronounce a silent letter, it can lead to confusion when you're speaking to others. Just like in our example where the delivery man tried to get me to sign. I really thought he wanted me to sing. The good thing is that these silent letters often combine with other letters, and so we can recognize patterns and know when to spot them and not pronounce them. So in this video, I'm going to give you some simple rules to work out where there are silent letters so you don't mispronounce the word. But first, a bit of background. You might be thinking, why on earth does English have silent letters? Is it just to confuse people who are learning the language? There's lots of different reasons why. One reason is because English has borrowed words from other languages where those letters were originally pronounced. The second reason is due to early English scholars recording words with extra letters to show their etymological origins. The third reason is because the pronunciation of lots of words changed after the words were standardized and written down. And in some cases, silent letters even help us to differentiate between two words that sound the same. Homophones, like night and night. Let's look at some common silent letters and find out when they appear. First, silent K. For example, in the words no, night, knock. What do you notice with these words? The K appears before the N at the beginning of the word and it's not pronounced. These words descend from Old English and have Germanic origins, where the K was originally pronounced. So the word night sounded something like knicht. But over time, English speakers got lazy and found it easier just to drop the K. Number 2, silent P at the beginning of a word. For example, in the word psychology, pseudonym, pneumatic. Silent P appears before an N or an S, and these words have a Greek origin. They were borrowed into English from Greek. In Greek, the letter P is originally pronounced in these words, but not in English. It would be too much of a mouthful to say per psychology. Number 3, silent B. For example, det, doubt, and thumb. This letter appears before the letter T, and it's also silent at the end of the word after the letter M. The B before the T was added by Renaissance scholars to show the Latin origin of these words. For example, the word debt comes from the Latin word debitum. We don't pronounce the B, and this is something that a lot of English language learners forget. Number 4, silent G. For example, in the word sign, design, or foreign. The G is silent before the N. This letter also shows the Latin origin of a word. For example, sign, the G comes from the word signum. And also, it has a pronunciation function. So if you took out the G, the word would be sin. The G makes the vowel sound longer. Number 5, silent W before an R. For example, in the words wrist, wrong, and right. This cheeky little letter that appears at the beginning of words is never pronounced before the letter R. So now you know when not to pronounce these silent letters. But how can you remember them? Well, that's where silly sentences come in. I'm going to give you some silly sentences to say, and you've got to try to pronounce them correctly without any of the silent letters. Got that? Sentence number 1. Try again. Sentence number 2. Bit faster. Sentence number 3. Bit more fluently. Great. Let's see if you got them right. The knobbly-kneed knight knew the knucklehead would knock again. Number 2, the professor of psychology pseudoscience published a book using pneumatic paper. Number 3, the wrestler's wristwatch was wrapped in wrinkly wrapping paper. So now you know how to spot 5 common silent letters in English and when not to pronounce them. Good luck.